Welcome. This is the seventh conversation in our series of the ICF team coaching competencies. I'm Antanas, business coach from Lithuania, and today I'm glad to be interviewing two colleagues. We are all faculty members of the Ignite Global, and we are working with the group and team coaching mastery certification. And here today I have two personalities here with the deep coaching experience. So Kate and Fernanda. So Kate, Fernanda, can you please introduce yourself?
I'll go first. My name is Kate Shi. I located in the US. I'm a PCC and ACTC and Ignite Global faculty. And today, it is so honored to have the opportunity to share with you of the team coaching competency.
Thank you, Kate. Fernando.
Thank you, Antanas, for facilitating this conversation today. It's such an honor to be joined by both you, Antanas, and also have Kate with me discussing about how we bring group and team coaching to organizations, to our communities, and also most importantly, organizations. I am Fernando Hetiadra, the founder of Ignite Global. As you probably recognize, as you are watching the seventh video, that I'm the founder of Ignite Global, fully ICF accredited coach education provider. Apart from that, I am a psychotherapist and MCC, also the program director for professional coaching mastery certification. Thank you, Antanas. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Fernanda. So, and our topic today is Competence 7. So, evoke awareness, and I will name the definition of that competence. So, the coach helps the client find insights and learning by using tools such as powerful questions, silence, metaphor, or analogy. If you coach individuals, you live in this competence every day. In a team, two things are added on top. First, the coach challenges the team assumptions, its habits, and the way it makes sense of things to raise the team's shared awareness. And second, the coach uses the questions and other tools to help the team grow and to help the team own its own conversation. So those two lines are what we will explore today more deeply. And Kate, let me start with you first. So what does it mean to awaken a team awareness? And how do you actually do that as a team coach? Over to you.
Thank you, Antanas, for the question. As we all know, when we coach a team, it's a collective. It's not each individual, it's a collective. And the team may have assumptions. Just as the individual has their own assumptions, and the team may have assumptions, biases, and blind spots. The team may collectively not get a whole picture. And on the other hand, some particular member may dominate the conversation, may have a dominant voice in the team. So the rest part of the team may not be able to actively participate and not able to share their insights, solutions, and even impact the team morale, to impact the whole team's performance. As a team coach, and we need to quickly identify the assumptions, biases, and the blind spots. Mm-hmm. And we may not see the blind spots, but it's our job to help the team to surface what could be blind spot, involve everybody to bring team's awareness.
Thank you, Kate. Yeah, blind spots, so important. Love that. So, Fernanda, many of our viewers come from, individual coaching. So what changes for you as a coach when you are evoking awareness in a team rather than in the, individual practice? Could you please share?
Thank you, Antanas. I think this is a crucial question that we need to be aware. The reason is that often when we are working with an individual client, it is a back and forth conversation. And especially as a coach educator, when I look into how some of our colleagues conduct group and team coaching, I tend to notice that the coach positioning themselves in the center, and it's almost like passing on the ball to one of the members in the team or the group, and then ball back to the coach, and then back to another member, and so on. And I think this is using the direct way how we coach in one-on-one environment. What is really important in group and team coaching is to create a conversation among the team members or the group members. That is when the group is or the team is able to create the true cohesion. So in the way how we approach group and team coaching is really for the coach to go into the background and enable the team to directly engage in this conversation. And when we do that, I see the most awareness is created when we step out of that process, when we enable the group or the team to directly engage with each other. That's when the most awareness is evoked. Thank you,
Oh.
Antanas.
Thank you, Fernanda. So, continue this topic about the engagement. So, Kate, the competence used the word challenge. We challenge the team's assumptions, its habits, and the way it makes sense of things. That word can share, can a little bit, not sure, scare coaches. How does challenging looks in your practice? Could you please share?
It's a good question, Antanas. But the word challenging is used, actually, we could interpret as stretch and or invite for deeper exploration. The competency, it doesn't mean use the word challenge, it doesn't mean to any adversary, and it means developmental. And we could stretch for the team to beyond the current patterns, to think and beyond the current thoughts, to see the blind spots, to test assumptions, and to engage with the tension that unlock growth. So, and also surface tensions. And that's what the challenge means. So that's how challenge look like. It's developmental, friendly, with the openness to invite the team go deeper in exploring.
Thank you. Love that. Fernanda, can I ask you the question? So we have some kind of definitions in this competence. It's a powerful questioning. It's a silence. It's a metaphor. It's analogy. And actually, how do these tools live differently when the room holds the whole team, in comparison with the, one-on-one coaching? Can you elaborate, please?
Certainly, Antanas. I think it's primarily different when it comes to group and team coaching. When we work with a team or when we work with an individual client, very often we are the primary source of inquiry, if not powerful questions. And we often take a primary role in back and forth going with the client as individual coaches. But when it comes to working with teams, we need to keep in mind that sometimes the team knows to ask better questions than what the coach could ask. Therefore, keeping the team, as just like my previous answer, keeping the client in the center, in a way, inviting the team to ask those powerful questions, because often what the context that they work with, and then the shared goals that they share together in these environments, it's useful for them to ask those powerful questions. So our role as a coach, rather than not just only asking powerful questions, but also creating an environment where the team members could ask powerful questions from each other. And then secondly, you mentioned about silence. And once again, if we compare silence within individual coaching, once the client has shared a specific scenario, we can remain silent, and that allows emotion for the client to process their own sharing. And we also to observe what is happening in the client. Now, if you come to think of it, in a team environment, there are several individuals. So there are several emotional aspects. There are several reflective aspects. It's not just only, as a team member, for an example, not just only what I have just shared. It's also about how everyone else is contributing, how everyone else is experiencing. So perhaps in individual coaching, we can naturally hold silence after a specific exchange. But in team coaching, it is important that we create deliberate silence. In other words, quite literally inviting everyone to take a step back and pay attention to what just happened. Focus on the kind of emotion and energy in the room. Therefore, the coach, the team coach, has an elevated responsibility to create silence deliberately in team coaching. And then lastly, Antanas, about analogies and metaphors. These are extremely powerful, as we are aware in individual coaching. Now, there are many ways that we can use metaphors and analogies in team environments, just like in individual coaching. And here I would like to bring a specific difference between individual coaching and team coaching. Now, in team coaching, the client leads the process. Client finds all their answers, and the coach does not take any directive role whatsoever. But we know in team coaching, the coach could take a directive role, not to necessarily lead the client towards an outcome, but to perhaps create the team cohesion, develop the team together, perhaps move the team from where they are to an effective or a leadership team. When we do that, we may be able to create certain directive approaches. For an example, in my practice, I invite teams to create their own DNA. Perhaps the team may belong to an organization might have a logo, but I invite the team to create their own logo, introduce their own colors, and then perhaps even creating a slogan. By doing so, we bring them together cohesively, close together. They start to experience that what we say in team coaching, work with the team as a unit. So when it comes to working with analogies and metaphors, I believe beyond just using metaphors that are surfacing in the coaching conversation, we also could use a directive approach in creating team cohesion. Thank you, Antanas. I hope this gives some bits and pieces of insights into this competency, although it is quite there's so much to further explore. Thank you.
Thank you, Fernando. Yeah, so many insights actually, and and to even deep that, the next question I most wanted to ask. So because it's the second add-ons to this competence. So I think the one people understand the least. So Kate, how do you facilitate the team's ownership of their collective dialogue? Can you please share
Yes,
your
facilitate
experience?
ownership of the team's dialogue is an important part of this competency. And that's an important part of what we do as a team coach. And the team has some recurring communication patterns that the team may not be aware, but as the team coach, we need to bring to their attention. For example, who always speak, who always stay silent, and how the decisions are emerging and how the team handles disagreement. And all these things are very important for the team to notice. When notice, that brings awareness. The team cannot address any issue if they are not aware. The team didn't know how to strengthen their strengths, and if they're not aware. In order to facilitate that, to have the team have the ownership of their collective conversation. And as a team coach, it's important, besides to bring the team's attention, it's the foundation is we have to build psychological safety so the team can self-regulate. We also have a video about competency for building safety and trust. In another video, you're welcome to click that video and for further information. And in our coaching course for team coaching, this is a very important part. We'll cover how to build psychological safety so the team feel like a vulnerable, open, safe enough so they can regulate their collective communication. And another point is, as a team coach, we have to shift the questions from individual to the collective to let team more aware. The team is as a whole is the client of the coaching, and to think as a team, not just individual, beyond individuals. Another one is to invite the team to run parts of the session. So as a team coach, we have to go in and out of the team conversation freely as needed. And when the team can run parts of the conversation, that's part of the team grow. The team cannot communicate well, not perform well. So that's very foundational for team development. I will just share that much. As that answer your question, Antanas.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your experience. And, I can ask many questions for you today. The last one, practical one. Fernanda, what do you notice in a team when, this awareness has truly shifted? What do you see or hear? Just some examples.
Absolutely, Antanas. Thank you. It's a very important question because this is something that we need to keep an eye for. So that tells us that when the team is shifting, that they are becoming a cohesive unit, as Kate shared. So very often, I think developing from what Kate just shared, very often when we engage in a team environment, we often see that there are subgroups within the team, and sometimes they have their favorites. There are some people engage in a specific way. And when we say that we are enabling the team to shift towards this cohesive unit as a client, we start to notice that we are the emotional container that we discuss in our programs, also pertaining to ICF competency, start to develop. When this is actually directly related to what Kate said, when we are able to create the right type of psychological safety, the team becomes that unit where they feel safe with each other. So we call that a contained unit. Emotions are contained within. Before they leave the team meetings or working together, they address all their emotions, their needs, so that they remain as a unit. And gradually, as when they remain as a unit within an emotional container, what we notice is how they respect each other, how they support each other, how they learn from each other, how they provide accountability for each other. These things become obvious and very visible gradually as you do that. So those are some of the shifts that we need to actually take responsibility as a professional coach. Now, if I may add something on top of this very valuable question, Andanas, rather than just like in individual coaching, rather than enabling a team to achieve their goals, our actual undertaking is to create that cohesion in such a way that they are able to shift themselves into this new reality of working together as a team. And sometimes when this happens in the team environments, like I said earlier, when we start the team coaching, we might say that there are conflicts, maybe there are subunits, there are differences, and they are not necessarily congruent. And as we continue through the team coaching journey, we start to see that these elements visibly change and they become this cohesive unit within an emotional container. And most often, what Kate said, very important, the regulating together, the co-regulation, it can be tangibly experienced as an energetic experience. And that is the key role. And this question is crucial because this is the true key responsibility of the team coach.
Love that. Thank you. Thank you for what you are sharing. And and if these thoughts for you, for the listener, give something to think about, this is exactly the kind of work we as a team of Ignite go deeply. Correct, Fernanda, Kate? With our trainees at Ignite Global, with team coaching program. So Fernanda, Kate, one piece of sharing for the coach who really want to develop this competence and other team coaching competence. So who want to start?
Let me share first.
Yeah.
As a Ignite Global team coaching certification, mastery team coaching and group coaching certificate graduate, I want to share with you, this is a great program. Through this program, it's very easy for me to not only graduate, but also achieved my ACTC, Advanced Certified Team in Team Coaching. The program design has a very in-depth competency and practice during the sessions. And beyond that, beyond the competency, and I learned packaging, the team coaching packaging, all these running business, and also the engagements to do a lot of assignment that you need to ace ACTC. And I started from the end of the program with no time wasted to launch into my way to achieving ACTC. And program has such rich, valuable information, and also it's the staff team are so supportive, and including Fernando as the director. And if you're interested in team coaching, want to increase your value that you contribute to your clients, and especially if you want to work in the organization, encourage you to enroll this program, maybe exploring more by booking a strategy call and to get to know more. And I also look forward to you join us as a team coaching colleague in the future through this program.
Thank you, Kate. And Fernanda, it's not only CTC, right? So can you add from your side what actually added to this program?
Absolutely, Antanas. I think I should talk a little bit about the practicalities of this program when we talk about how we expand this beyond ACTC and just as a group and team coaching program. Now, just like what Kate said, even colleagues, those who are watching us online, perhaps when you go through the team coaching competency, you can read them and perhaps at the surface level, they may appear to you simple and straightforward. And quite many of them are straightforward. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say your challenge if you are currently coaching individuals and then you're thinking about coaching teams, especially within organization context. I do not necessarily think your biggest challenge is going to be understanding team coaching competency. What is going to be your true challenge is that how do you really work with organizations? How do you present yourself? How do you structure your programs? Doing team coaching is one thing, but being able to offer team coaching engagements is another thing. So when I initially created this program long time ago, about 7, 8 years ago, even before ICF had any team coaching competency introduced, something I thought about is how do we approach organizations and provide larger solutions to organizations in a way that the organizations understand. If we speak frankly, team coaching is a phenomenon only now that organizations are getting to know. Most organizations are not even aware what team coaching really is. Therefore, this program has two key components to it. For the ICF accreditation process, this program is Professional Coaching Advanced Mastery Certification in Coaching Groups and Teams, which gives you the necessary program hours and the competency framework for you to go towards the ACTC credential. But at the same time, however, this is within the world of ICF. At the same time, if you are approaching the real world clients within organizations, you need to demonstrate your ability at a heightened level. Therefore, this is the dual certification. So the first certification I already mentioned, the Group and Coaching Mastery certification. The second certification is Organizational Development Specialist using a coaching methodology. Now, if you simply come to think of it, if you approach an organization and mentioned, I have ACTC credential, it doesn't mean, it is not understood immediately by the organization. But if you shared, I am an organizational development specialist using a coaching methodology, they understand this directly. So it is a fully ICF accredited certification, comes as two certifications, dual certification. So for you to go through the ICF credentialing path as well as communicate your qualification to organizations as well. And as Antana said, this qualification is accredited with ICF as a level 2 certification. What does that mean? That means currently, if you have completed your level 1 certification, if you are an ACC credential professional coach, and thinking about moving towards your PCC credential and puzzled, I would like to do the PCC credential. I would also like to do the ACTC credential. So how do we undertake both? Well, here's the good news. This program provides you the necessary both knowledge, competence, both towards the PCC credential as well as ACTC credential, because this program is accredited as a level 2 program. Now, the program initially provides you what is required for the ACTC credential, and we also have a comprehensive mentoring program which incorporates all the PCC mentoring requirements, including elevating you from level 1 to level 2, if not ACC to PCC requirements as well. Well, perhaps this sounds a bit complex. Sometimes ICF credentialing process can be a bit complex. Like what Kate said, feel free to, I believe under this video in the description, we will share with you our website, and feel free to set up a strategy conversation, which is absolutely complimentary, either with myself or with one of our colleagues, so that you can get to know. We can understand your specific needs, where you are at the moment in your professional development. Where are you with your credential? What are your aspirations? And we can strategize through a direct one-on-one conversation how to support you towards your professional aspirations, both becoming a wonderful organizational development specialist and delivering services to organizations, which is the most important thing. At the same time, pursuing your credentials and becoming a credentialed, a credible coach as well. And also, I must mention, if you're watching this video, please stay tuned till the end. There is a special discount code that you can use when you enroll with Ignite Global as well. And when you join us, remember to enter that and take advantage of the discount as well. And with that, Antanas, I think we are coming to an end. So I would like to thank Kate and you for facilitating this conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, Fernanda. Thank you, Kate. I just, as alumni as well of this, school, I would like to say that to add one thing from the business perspective. So this is the next level was for me to actually invest in my coaching business as a business, because a team coaching adding value to you as a professional. So, and the second thing, of course, constant development is our, as Fernando, you said, responsibility. Yeah. So two things what I'm taking from our discussion today. Thank you, everybody, and see you in the Competence 8, which is coming after that. Thank you.
Thank you both.